Barrow will win the 2026 election. That's a foregone conclusion.
Not with 75% of
Well, I'm
vote.
not sure, but I know he will win the elections. In fact, I had him mention, sometimes I don't know. I had him say something very interesting that Jammeh won the election by 53%.
No, Barrow.
Barrow won by 53%. But the Afrobarometer survey shows that Barrow got 27% in the survey. By the way, the Afrobarometer survey, let me just make it clear.
No, we'll get 27%.
No, the survey says 27%.
Yes.
You know, the survey was done. Now, you cannot compare...
The survey was done what? On the 2021 or
no, 2026
looking to 2026?
So Afrobarometer made a survey last year.
Yes.
And they asked the citizens. And remember, Afrobarometer just take a sample size of 1,200 people. 1,200 out of 1 million registered voters. 1,200. And you ask this 1,200, if elections were to be held today, which candidate will you vote for? And they give them a list of candidates. Out of this 1,200, 27% says that they will vote for President Barrow. 17% said they would vote for lawyer Ousainou Darboe. And the rest were like 2%, 5%, 0.2%, 0.1%.
Was your name on it as CA leader?
Unfortunately, I don't know why CA wasn't put on the list. I didn't see CA, but even APP Sobea got, I think, 0.something%, if I remember right. Now, you cannot use that survey to say because Barrow got 53% in 2020, and also remember, in that particular survey, over 50% say they are either undecided, or they will not vote, or they don't know.
Over 50%?
Almost close to 50%. They say they are either undecided, or they will not vote, or they don't know. They don't want to answer the question. Now, if you use that survey to make a projection for the 2026 elections, where we have almost 1 million voters, and where people go to vote on issues, you are gravely mistaken. So for me, I don't see even why this is what I'm talking about. The manner in which he discredits himself. Anybody who understands how statistics works, you wouldn't make that comparison. But nonetheless, what I can confirm is that the work that President Barrow is doing in providing basic services to the people, to communities that never dreamt of having these services like roads, like electricity, like water, like healthcare, like education, there is no way he could lose this election. The people are going to vote for him and give him a second chance. But also the peace and stability he brought, the democracy he's promoting, his attempts and his desire to fight corruption in his country, the measures he's taken to fight corruption are unmatched. And I watched some nondescript news covering the Gala protest, which was very unfair, and saying that thousands of people protested. It wasn't thousands of people.
It wasn't thousands?
It wasn't, no. The aerial view showed it was a couple of hundred people. Not more than 500 people in that protest.
Seriously?
So, in fact, I had an issue. I called Lamin Cham. I know he's listening. When the Standard put on their head like 1,000, I said, Lamin Cham, this is a misrepresentation of the facts. It's not thousands of people. It's a couple of hundred people. And if you remove those the UDP mobilized to join, it will be maybe 75 to 80 people only be protesting. That UDP mobilized and brought people in Gala. No, it's the fact.
I mean,
they brought people in tomorrow just to show.
You throw everything that goes against the government at UDP.
No, it's not that, because we see, Peter, the state has access to a lot of intel. The UDP mobilized and brought their people to the protest just to show that just to boost the crowd. If we remove those UDP people, I see some old women they brought. I pitied those people. They brought some old men and some old men to join the protest. But if they remove the UDP element there,
UDP are coming on Thursday.
Yes,
so
they can come. Of course. If they remove the UDP element there, and then just the protesters, people are just displeased, it's gonna be less than 100 people. So that news is wrong, and the manner in which now they are portraying, I can't imagine how people can be. I mean, how can you be so hateful to your country? Painting your country as is all is doom and gloom. We are not saying it's perfect. We know there are challenges of corruption, but these are systemic and these are inherited. That is why the president understands that. That is why he understands we need to fight this root and branch. That is why last time I argued that fighting corruption for us as a government is not about arresting and jailing people only. Yes, it is a deterrent, but it is not a comprehensive deterrent. What we want to do is to build the institutions and the processes and systems that can deter, that can fight corruption. That is what we are doing. That is why we build we pass anti-corruption law. That is why we strengthen the National Audit Office. That is why the GRA and other institutions are now going digital. That is why payments are not done now in offices. You go to the banks and pay. That is why the PAC is activated and they are let to operate independently. That is why the courts are let to operate independently. All these are oversight institutions that ensure that we fight corruption. Yes, it's a process. A system that has been embedded and endemic for 22 years, over 22 years. You cannot expect a government to come and correct it to the maximum.
But you would have